Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta.
Hey, we actually traveled.
We did. Yeah.
So,
Woo-hoo.
yay.
Yay.
Accurate. Podcast name is accurate.
It only took like a year after starting this that we actually got to travel. We've done it a couple times now.
We've been frequently traveling now. It's
with more coming.
And us and everybody else. The airports are very busy these days.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The revenge travel
it's a thing.
Is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Working with me too, quite frankly.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to talk about that at all, or do you want to
yeah, we can talk about that in our little intro section here.
Sure. While we're mentioning it.
Where did we go?
We went to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta specifically.
Yeah.
So my parents have a timeshare down in Puerto Vallarta, right up near the airport, actually, a resort called Velas Vallarta, and we were there last year with them, and this year I had teachers convention, so we only had 5 days, something like 6.
5 with a travel day or something. I don't know.
But they timed it so they're down there for a few weeks or a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And we went down with my youngest brother and my sister, and then we came back, and then my brother came back, and then my sister's fiance went. So it was like a lot of coming and going, which is kind of cool. I think that works really well.
Yeah. It's a big old family resort, and
Yes.
all the rooms are suites, so you got
Right.
a bunch of bedrooms in them and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it was fun. I ate too much and I drank too much and I got sick.
Yep.
So
I got,
not from the booze, or maybe just cumulative effect of the booze.
I'm
I don't
guessing
know.
it was cumulative. Maybe a little heat mixed in there, and just weird
got a nice
hours.
tan. I didn't get a sunburn.
That's true. I got a little burn, but it didn't last very long.
Not too bad.
No.
Not too bad. Pretty successful for a spring trip.
Yeah.
It was quite short.
We should do it again.
Yeah.
Another spring trip.
Let's do that.
Okay. Maybe
for
in
Easter.
April.
Yeah.
I have put up a couple pictures on Instagram, but if you want to see some more, as I go through them, the'll be more added as well.
You did take some new emos.
I did. I had a whole couple photo shoots with the new emos. Donald and Daisy went with me.
We also got to see some whales in the distance.
That was very cool.
Because it's whale season there. But then we got to see some dolphins.
That's the one I was going to say.
Up really close to the resort.
Just playing like crazy.
Jumping around and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep.
And I went for a walk while you were doing yoga, and I got to see some baby turtles that were being scooped into a bucket at the turtle sanctuary, and a crocodile at the golf course.
Yeah, the golf course nearby the resort. You said there was a crocodile just hanging out.
Yeah, he's in the water hazard.
It's quite a hazard.
Extra hazardous. I can't golf that golf course because I would just die. That's where my balls go. So.
Yeah. You'd have to get a pack just for that. Yeah. I'm sad I missed those. I do enjoy yoga though, and it's pretty nice to go and do that with the ocean and everything is always nice.
And there was some very cute sandpipers, which always makes me think of that short film.
Oh, yeah. That's such a good one, too. We should rewatch some of those shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's other shorts that we should watch as well.
Oh, there's a bunch more nominated this year, I'm sure, as is customary.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes. So, what are we talking about this week?
Well, I am pretty low energy because, like I said, I got sick on the trip. It's been a few days, and I was recovering, and I feel a bit better. I was feeling a bit better this morning. Was not great, so I might be a little low energy today.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it pretty short, but we've got a lot of news to catch up on.
Yeah, we have to catch
up. 2 weeks of news.
We did 2 episodes before we left, so we didn't have news llast episode. So we can catch up on news.
Yeah, awesome. I have one more thing to add before I ask you what you're drinking. I want to say it now because I don't want to forget it.
Okay, don't forget.
Okay. So, there was an update to an existing review that we had.
Update?
Yes. And I am sure I know who wrote this because she's awesome. And I'm sure it was Lindsay. Yay, Lindsay.
Yay, Lindsay.
Yay, Lindsay. So she wrote, update to review. Still, all caps, my fave podcast. I rarely miss an episode unless avoiding spoilers. Brandon and Krysta complement each other so well, and their featured topics continue to be current, dynamic, and diverse. If you can't listen to this podcast without laughing at least once, you're just doing it wrong. Aw, that's so nice.
That is really
Lindsay,
nice.
you're awesome.
That's very
Thanks,
kind.
Lindsay. Yes, absolutely. If you want to be awesome like Lindsay, you should leave us a review as well.
Reviews are cool.
Reviews are good. Yeah, do that. Okay, so before we get to news and everything like that, Brandon, what is your nerd thing this week?
Well, I thought the travel was the nerd thing.
Okay, fair enough. Not dying from being sick.
And booking more travel. And travel.
Yeah. You said we're going, what are we doing at Easter time?
We're going to Jamaica.
Right. So I said, I'm not even really going to unpack the suitcases.
No. That one's going to be a full week trip. Mm-hmm. And
we have some snorkeling we're going to be doing there.
Yes. We've been to that resort before, and it has excellent snorkeling.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we're going back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be good. And I'm going to eat a lot of jerk chicken.
Yes.
And I'm going to try and avoid too many rum drinks, because rum is not good for me.
You'll have a relapse of being sick again.
Yeah.
But in a different way.
Yeah.
Yes, I am going to do a packing video for Carry On Only Tropical, because I did some video footage before we left of packing for this, but I'll have to adjust it a little bit for snorkel stuff.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea, because like I really, really like going Carry On Only, but it's a challenge. It can be a challenge, and like just pack, like choosing what you want to pack aside, you got the whole issue with liquids.
Yes.
Not being allowed to be put in carry-on. So
we were super fortunate this time because we were worried about the sunscreen. But because we were traveling with my family, my mom very generously carried a couple bottles for us, so we didn't have to buy it when we got there.
We used it all, which is how I didn't sunburn. So if the weather doesn't smarten up here and we can get more of a base tan, we're going to have to buy sunscreen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I've got some plans.
On the way or something.
We'll figure it out.
We have private transportation, so we can probably get them to stop at a mini mall and pick up sunscreen or something on the way.
We'll figure something out. We've got some options anyway, but that is definitely something to consider. So, like you said, the liquids and things, and strategy. I actually really enjoy packing challenges.
You're good at packing. I am good at eating.
And then we came back, and I had teachers convention, so I was there for a couple days, and and then last night I was emceeing an event, so it's been a whirlwind. I haven't even unpacked. Yeah, I
wasn't even sure we were going to get around to recording, but we're just going to make it happen. The other nerd thing, I guess, is we started our Oscar. We're going to watch all 10 Best Picture nominees, and we actually hadn't seen any, even though some of them would be ones that we would normally have already seen, but we haven't seen movies that much this year.
No, and except for a couple that I'm going to talk about. What's crazy is I think some of the Best Picture nominees are some of the most popular picks that they've had in recent years.
For a set of 10, there's at least 3 on the list: Avatar, Top Gun, and Everything Everywhere All at Once, that I would have watched regardless.
Yeah.
And normally would have already seen by now.
Yeah.
But so there's still some of your typical Oscar, like the one we watched last night. That's your typical critical drama Oscar bait type of movie where it's like just acting.
Women talking is
women
what it's
talking
called.
We watch,
and almost the entire movie is literally women talking.
It's an accurate title.
Yes, it is. Yes. So we're actually I'll talk about this again more later, but we're actually gonna have our Oscars episode next weekend. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about it then.
Yeah, but you already also mentioned that we've got some shorts that we'll probably try and squeeze in just
if you can find them. Sometimes you can see them online, and sometimes
not. So we'll have a look around though. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, and also, what are you drinking?
Well, we were at an all-inclusive resort, so I drank enough for like a month's worth in like 4 days, probably. Especially that first night. Woo, that was a doozy.
Yeah, it took you the rest of the time to recover.
No, I was okay by the next day, but no, just black coffee, cause Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, I am also drinking coffee. My coffee's not black coffee, but it is coffee. All right, so I think that takes us to the news. Disney A news update. And the news is our main topic, basically.
Yeah.
Before we get into some of the things we missed, we have 2 movies we should talk about. Both Marvel movies. Okay. We finally watched Wakanda Forever.
We finished Phase 4.
Woo! And then started Phase 5. So what did you think of Wakanda Forever?
They did as good as they could with the hand they were dealt. They basically, Ryan Coogler, the director, writer of that, had to basically rewrite it all because Chadwick Boseman, of course, hadn't let anyone know that he was sick, and the production was well underway on the Black Panther sequel. So they changed it up and did good. Like, and there's some significant acting bits in there.
Yes.
Of course, there's a Best Supporting Actress nominee.
Yep.
Which is pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's cool. But no, everybody did a good job in it. The plot's not the best, and it, of course, is the common complaint with Marvel movies is you got your big CGI third act.
Yes,
and
of course.
It falls into that trap as well. And the I don't know, the CGI wasn't super good, but
I thought some parts were just gorgeous, and some parts were like a little.
Yeah, there was parts where it dipped into Aquaman territory, and that's not where you want to be. But
yeah, I liked it overall. I actually liked it more than I was expecting to. I was very unsure with Boseman being gone. And everything.
They handled the parts where the theme was like dealing with grief and all that. It was very well done.
Yes.
Namor was a cool character, and
I thought the Shuri situation was done well as well. But overall,
it worked.
Thumbs up, maybe not enthusiastic thumbs up, but definitely thumbs up.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was fine. It was like a B. It just a straight B.
Okay.
For me.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask.
Not a plus or a minus, but a B.
So we were late watching that one, but we were early watching Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah, we keep scheduling vacations for the day Marvel movies come out.
True.
This time we forced ourselves to go to the theater the night before we flew, because otherwise we were going to be missing out on Ant-Man as well.
Yes.
And then that day arrived and all the reviews came out, and it's right now was tied or is worse than the worst MCU movie review Rotten Tomatoes score reviews for any MCU movie. It was tied with Eternals when it on a day
I
one.
do not think that is earned at all.
And so general public opinion is that is not really fair to it. I didn't think it was the worst Marvel movie.
Certainly not.
I also didn't really hate Eternals either.
No, but
Thor 2 is by and far the worst. The first Hulk movie isn't very good either.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
You kind of forget about that one.
I totally did.
And Thor 4 has like significant problems. It has good parts too, but it has significant problems. Whereas I like Ant-Man.
I liked it too.
I would say it was a solid B+.
Yeah. Okay.
It is CGI heavy, but like you have to be.
I was poking around, looking at some of the reviews, and I think because this idea that Kang was being built up to be this big one, I think people were expecting like Infinity War or Endgame, but it's an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I thought it was going to be the perfect introduction to Kang because you can have him as like a main villain in a smaller movie because he can come back infinitely.
Right, which is Kang's whole deal. Well, and we saw him in He Who Remains in Loki.
Exactly. So I think kind of building him up that way is going to work really well. And Jonathan Majors kicks butt. And
sure does.
So
you talk about
any small quibbles you might have with the plotting or whatever of Ant-Man, the main thing is Jonathan Majors kicks butt as Kang, and so that's hopeful for the future anyway.
Absolutely.
The other problem I would say that you might have with this movie is if you're not keeping up with everything to do with Marvel.
That is another complaint I heard.
It's almost like a filler, not so much a filler episode, but like a setup episode in a series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing movies as a series, which MCU is kind of leaning into, it can be tough for the average moviegoer, I guess. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you could get by without, say, being caught up on everything to watch this, and it'd be fine or not fine, but you're definitely going to get more out of it if you are caught up with your shows and the other films and everything.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. And I went in with trepidation. So.
I was going in with like bottom of the barrel expectations, so maybe that helped me like it more, but I don't know. It was a solid.
I liked it.
It was a solid movie, and the production design was very Star Warsy. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it was fun.
And I enjoy Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd.
Yes.
So yeah.
And all the ads made it look like it was going to be super dark, but there was still quite a bit of comedy in it.
That was part of my concern. I was like, it's still an Ant-Man movie here, people. Like, there are vibes for different things. And I was worried about, with Thor Love and Thunder, them trying to walk, like, serious and funny.
That had tonal issues. I don't think Ant-Man had tonal issues.
No, I don't think it did either.
It was like...
But that was my concern with it. Yeah. Okay.
The only big knock against it, no Lewis.
Huge knock against it. I was so mad. Absolutely so mad.
Yeah, no.
That maybe they should have like a little special or something.
He can come in at the beginning of like the first Avengers like hanging dynasty.
Like, okay.
Just explain everything, all the shows leading up to it.
They did it with Olaf.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I don't know. They instead of the legends show, the little recaps that they put on Disney Plus,
they so good. By the way,
they could just have Lewis show up and like.
Exactly. You know what? You could even like you wouldn't have to shoot new footage or anything. Just him. Just him talking.
Just him talking.
Yeah. There are 2 post-credit scenes we're not going to talk about, but definitely stay for those.
And they're bigger than especially when there's 2. Usually one's like kind of a jokey one. They're both.
They pay attention.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so those are our film chatting going on, but let's go to some park news. Tron Light Cycles and cast member previews. We've watched a couple ride-throughs of this, and people tend to... There's concern about the ride vehicles themselves, however, about this, like... people with mobility, but also size predominantly.
So, yeah, the Tron roller coaster is you're riding a light cycle. Yeah. And so the ride vehicle is shaped like a light cycle. Yeah. And you ride it like you're riding a motorcycle. And so then the safety support is like a back strap that comes behind you. And then there's leg beams that come out and hold your leg in. So the problem is if you have like thicker calves... those leg beams are really tough to get into, and then if you're like a larger person, the back support won't lock. So there's tester seats and stuff like that before you get on, and if you can't fit in the light cycle, there is one train that has like kind of regular seats in the back. Yeah. So you'll still be able to ride.
But there's gonna be a lot of people lined up for that particular train.
So we rode a similar. There's in Knott's Berry Farm. There's a Pony Express one where it's similar. You're riding a horse and there's back supports. Yeah. I think that one was more restrictive than the Tron Light Cycle. Like the back support looked a little bigger on the Tron Light Cycle. But yeah, I don't know, you do have to be on the smaller side to fit it.
Definitely, they have tester seats out. Definitely check them out. I think the only thing I worry about is you have very long legs. But you said the pony one was fine.
Yeah, the pony one was fine. My legs bend, and I don't have thick calves, so I should be fine.
When we ever get there.
Yeah, when we ever get there. And unfortunately, I was really excited about the Tron ride, but watching the ride through, it's very short and very tame looking. So I was kind of like, not even as thrilling as like, say, the Incredicoaster / California Screamin'. I don't know.
I think it looks really cool. It does look tamer than I was expecting. But my big thing is how short it is.
It's very, very short.
Very short. Yeah. Generally, other than the vehicles themselves, people do seem to have favorable reviews, though.
Yeah, it looks fun. It just...
Not what you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted a little bit more oomph on the thrill scale.
Fair enough. Before we head over to Disneyland news, 25 years of Disney cruising. Yeah, so, it wasn't enough that Disney Company has to have its 100th anniversary. That's a big deal, 25 years.
I went on a Disney cruise when I went to Disney World way back in the day. So that must have been real early in the Disney cruising era, because that was close 20 years. Must have been like 20 years ago.
Must have been. It would be more than that. I know how old you are, and I know when you went. Yeah. 22 years? Didn't you go when you were 16?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm old. I can't remember.
But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
we should go on one now, and you could compare.
Well, yeah, because when I went, they only had the 2
yes
cruise ships, and they were the smaller ones because they were built to fit through the Panama Canal before the Panama Canal expanded.
Yeah. 25 years ago.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So, happy 25th birthday, Disney Cruise Line. Okay, Disneyland news. The one news I am most excited about.
I'm surprised. You 25th anniversary of the Disney Cruise Line. I'm surprised you didn't talk about that they have a special
they have
collection.
A whole that's why I wrote it down, and I just like over it. They have a whole collection for it, and I really, really like it all. I am not even on a Disney cruise. And
yeah, they have ears and a Spirit jersey and a Loungefly bag and jewelry and everything. Oh yeah, and it's really cool. It's
really nice.
Really cool, like ocean color, like Caribbean ocean colors.
It's like really pretty blues, but like there's
shimmery.
Muted yes. Iridescent was the word I was going for. Yes, but it's very pretty.
Sure. Make fun of my $2 word with your $10 word. It's shimmery. Actually, it's iridescent. Iridescent.
Leviosa. I was just explaining why it seemed like I was fumbling for a word. But yes, I actually really like it. I was like, ooh, I like the ears. Ooh, I like the jersey. Ooh, I like the Loungefly bag. And you were like, oh, good, because the one thing that you want to do when you pay for a Disney cruise is buy all the Disney cruise merch as well.
Yes. Yes.
I would.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would.
But I really like it. So if you are planning a Disney cruise, check that out. Maybe you want to get the merch before you go. Oh, speaking of merch, this isn't on my news list, but they announced like today or yesterday what the new Nuimo is for March. It's Edna Mode.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
But it's great because she's a fashion icon, and that's the whole point of them, right?
No, it kind of makes sense.
But it's just weird because she's
going to be really
such a
ironic
secondary character.
when you buy some accessories and it includes a cape, and you put a cape on her.
Yes. Oh no. She has opinions about capes. Anyway, I thought that was really fun. So that just came out today. Okay, heading to Disneyland. First of all, we have had announced now that the villas at the Disneyland Hotel finally have opening date. September this year.
Oh, okay.
That's actually sooner than I was expecting. I mean, I get that most of the outside and stuff is done, or done-ish, but yeah, September.
It's funny that hotel has taken longer to construct than... So we've been watching updates on the new theme park out in Florida that Universal's building, Epic Universe. And
which looks so cool.
All the concept looks very cool, but it's blowing my mind how fast they're building everything.
Yeah. We're watching an update.
All at once.
What, twice a week or something?
Yeah.
And every time it looks like there's been months in between.
Yeah.
It's like, how many people do they have working on this thing?
Well, a lot.
Yeah.
First of all. Yeah, but it's crazy how fast that thing's going up, and that's not supposed to open until 2025. Like crazy. I do get that there's like, the structures might be going up fast and all the finishing work will take a long time. Yeah.
But you made the joke that it might just take that long for the trees to grow as far as they want them to, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is part of it. And then they have lots of rise tests and stuff like that. Of course. So.
Safety. But anyway, it looks really cool. And if you're a theme park person, you might want to, you don't have to watch them all like we are, but definitely check out the concept art at least.
Yeah, there's going to be Universal, has a more wide range. Disney is definitely like family focused. Their top end thrill is not very top end, and then they trend a little more younger
as far as thrills go. Yeah.
But like in general, like they go hard on the kids rides or whatever, right? But Universal, their top end thrill is
really scary.
Right up there. Like their newest ride right now in Florida is the Velocicoaster.
Oh God.
And that's about 9.5 plus on the thrill scale, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think I could get on it.
I think you have to do it once.
I don't have to do anything.
I think you gotta try one.
I don't know if I could.
It looks really, really cool.
I honestly think I would maybe pass
out. But so this is a whole new theme park. So they got rides all through the spectrum. Mm-hmm. They're building another Super Nintendo World there as well. Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be kids rides, and they have a whole How to Train Your Dragon section.
That actually looks really cool, that whole area.
Which is going to be more for families and stuff.
Fun theming. I was like, How to Train Your Dragon, really? Like, I get the movies were popular and everything, but at this point, you're making an attraction. Yeah. But the land itself, I think they're just leaning more, hey, dragons and Vikings.
Dragons and Vikings are cool, so... And, like, those movies are quality, so they'll stand up.
Yeah, I think this will be good.
It'll feed into itself, and like people will go there and be like, "Oh, this is kind of cool," and then watch the movies, and
it'll work itself.
It'll be fine, and it'll look cool. So that's all good. And then they're doing a Universal Monsters.
That's the one
land,
I'm most excited for,
which is really cool. And then they have a massive roller coaster in the main plaza area that's just looks really cool. It's a dueling roller coaster.
Yeah, and it's supposed to kind of not have a specific theme. It's just central.
Yeah, it's just epic.
Yeah, epic. Oh, so cool. Anyway, we're gonna keep watching now because we're like invested in how fast all this stuff is.
And
going
there's more
on.
Harry Potter stuff. So
that's okay.
Oh, I threw you off your track.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, all good. Oh, speaking of Disneyland. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway standby queue is now open. That was kind of fast, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it would be more similar to Spider-Man that hung on for like a few months.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be very, very long.
No, it's not. We're not looking at Rise here or anything like that. I'm going to look right now to see what the wait time is. Okay, so right now we're recording this Sunday noon-ish there. Wait, do we go ahead? Back?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunday noonish, you'd be waiting in a 75-minute wait for Mickey and Minnie's.
That's actually not too bad.
It is not, especially considering you'd be waiting 30 minutes for Small World.
Wow. I bet, you know what? I bet Small World's queue is inflated because it's the closest thing to Toontown.
Though, you know what? You could be on something there. 45 minutes for Matterhorn, just to give you an idea of how busy the park is. 55 for both Star Tours and Space.
The park's not very busy.
No. So it's definitely the most lined up. Oh, I should go over and check out Rise, I guess, before I say that. 65 for
Smuggler's Run,
which we said was the most weird time thing.
That one's,
75 for Rise. So your two biggest lineups are Rise and Runaway Railway, which it probably is what it should be, but 75.
Yeah, and like Rise, the first time you ride through it, you kind of want to stand in the queue for a little while.
That's true.
It's supposed to have a really cool lineup, all the decorations and stuff.
Well, speaking of the queue, vandalism.
Oh.
Twice, 3 times. Just people screwing with some of the stuff and like trying to take mementos. Yeah, people suck.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear another thing about people sucking? So
not really, but I'm sure I can have many stories about that.
Well, yes, but this is Disney specific recently. So TikTok.
Unfortunately, yes.
Disney has now had to put in signs on, Guardians is the one that I was looking at. The Tower of Terror, Guardians Mission Breakout. Because what has been happening is apparently there's a new TikTok trend of people trying to be terrible and somehow get out of their restraints.
What?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna bring up a thing to show you.
What?
But yeah, because apparently this is a good idea.
What?
Yeah. So basically, first of all, TikTok trends at Disney are not great. Okay, there were a couple bit ago.
TikTok trends
in general
anywhere are not great.
Yeah, so basically one is climbing onto parade floats was one. I saw a couple of those.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Before.
Apparently this is escalated so much that the new stupid guest trick, they say it's a stupid guest trick, of people how do you even do it? Get out of their seatbelts during that ride?
You'd have to
how?
You'd have to not click it in all the way because once it's clicked in, it doesn't come out.
Yeah, because it's locked. That's the whole thing.
You can't if you push the button to release it, it won't release. Because I've accidentally buckled it in with the seatbelt twisted a little bit, and I was before the even checked the you pull the yellow tab situation. I was trying to fix it, and it won't release until the ride's done and they push the button to release things. So
Yep. Yeah, no, this is...
So they're fiddling with it before, like they don't clip it in all the way or something, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
But anyway, so now they have to put signs up and they say you will be removed from the park.
I guess.
No kidding.
Like, someone's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. And anyway, that's the latest TikTok trend at Disney.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't be stupid. And don't climb on parade floats. And don't vandalize Runaway Railway queue.
Yeah, maybe just be a good person instead of a garbage person. How about that?
Let's talk about something happier.
There's a TikTok trend. Don't be garbage.
You know, no, never mind. I was gonna say something, but that's spoilers. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say it. But go watch Ant-Man. Let's talk about happier stuff at Disneyland, shall we? Because that aren't about people being terrible. Updates to San Francisco. We have a couple. The bridge is being painted. Actually, it's probably done by now. It was a couple days ago.
Well, we saw the like concrete areas for the supports. Basically, they're building a couple of arches over top of the existing bridge to make it look like a Asian inspired Golden Gate
and it looks
style.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I think.
Quick and easy way to spruce up the theming.
Totally,
I like it.
Yep, I like that a lot. Also, they have signs now around, well, some of the different things. The one that people were taking pictures of was around Cucina Cucamonga. And they have it, so they have the walls up around there. But the signs on it are like, this area under construction by the city of San Francisco. Like, it's all very in universe and everything, which looks really cool, I think. But yeah, so that's really exciting. They're like moving right along on it. But
yeah.
Like you said, it's going to be a quick change around anyway, so let's do it and get it done.
It's not that in depth, but that area there's not a lot going on there anyway, so just a little bit of theming is kind of cool, and like having a Baymax meet and greet area is worth it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So Run Disney, the Princess Marathon was going on this weekend actually, I think.
Yep.
But you know how people were really excited because at D23 they announced that Run Disney would be back at Disneyland for the first time in
7 years or
forever.
Something? Yeah. Long time, anyway.
Well, registration did not open on time, and then when it finally did, it sold out in like 90 minutes.
It's very popular. Runners are weird in general, and Disney people are weird in general, so like when you get like the cross-pollination of it's gonna happen. Bunch of
cross-pollination.
What bunch of weirdos, including myself.
But, yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure you've ran races before, and you're Disney nerds. So
yeah.
So there's also quietly, there wasn't a big fanfare about this. A new ghost was added to the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, well, now they don't have any more room for one more.
Apparently not. Well, unless they took someone else out. The hitchhikers, they followed you home. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparently was a bat in a bird cage. It was previously there and then taken out and now back. So if you ride Haunted Mansion, you should look for that.
You okay?
Yep.
I think the French market closed as well, actually.
I think you're right. Yes.
I think it had its last day last week, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, and you can still get Mickey beignets and mint juleps. Well, there'll be a temporary home.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like the mint julep bar is also closed.
Yeah.
Along with, but the French market is getting the big makeover for Tiana's restaurant.
You're absolutely right. That one is closed.
Yum Yums.
You missed it if you didn't go. And then two other big.
It'll be basically the same, just with a new sign on the front door.
Well, you know what? It's all right.
Well, maybe the menu
paint and a little.
The menu will change a little bit, but it's going to be very similar.
Yes,
I would say.
Well, because it was influenced by the structure of it. So yeah. Disneyland After Dark events. We have had 2 more that were announced. Disneyland After Dark Throwback Night. So before they've done 80s Night and they did 90s Night, now they're just going to do Throwback Night. Because
playing all the hits from 2004, probably.
But possibly. Because throwback.
Yeah.
Because we're old.
It's on the oldies station now.
So I'm guessing details for this haven't come out, or too many details for this anyway, haven't come out. But it looks like it will be, you can decide if you want to do whatever decade it is. And that actually makes sense for the 100th, because you can like pick your time from the past. Is kind of cool. And I like the logo is very retro and fun. And then the other one is the Disneyland After Dark Star Wars night. This one...
Which is like the only one I would ever go to anyway, so...
I think Throwback Night would be fun, but if I was choosing only one, it would be Star Wars.
I'm not paying a full day's ticket price to go for 3 hours at a Throwback Night myself.
It's a little longer than 3 hours.
4 hours, whatever. Star Wars night, though, looks really, really cool.
Yeah, that one is actually... Well, on my Disney bucket list is to go to an after-hours event, and I'm sure Star Wars would be the one to do. Just wander around. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, like...
They have Ewoks.
They have characters you'll never see any other time, and lots of happy Star Wars fans being happy. The Platinum Mickey is back. With spelling bee. It was just an error. It wasn't a spelling thing. Yeah, it's just an incorrect quotation. But
and then so anyway, it's fixed. It's back. But then the super exciting news. I think is a super exciting news. We finally have an answer to what is going to the Hyperion.
Yeah,
but only for the summer.
And I'm shocked. I'm a little sad that it's short.
Yeah.
Short run. But I'm shocked they're actually doing it.
This is what I was really hoping for. I can't believe they're doing it. We are getting a 1-act Rogers the Musical.
And I didn't see it. I saw they posted like a little sneak peek, and it was on Instagram or something, and it was like behind Agent Carter.
Yes.
In her full like
yeah, full Agent Carter.
Full Agent Carter, like Carmen Sandiego trench coat look. And I'm like, yeah, no. See, when they did the casting call for the English female lead, that makes perfect sense now. That's how they're going to kind of like tie the whole story together. It's going to be maybe from her perspective or something. So she's going to be the main character. And of course, they'll have the big number from the Hawkeye.
Oh, of course
special,
they will.
I'm sure.
You could do this all day.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm sad we're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to bet you money that someone's going to record the darn thing
I'm gonna watch
put it online. So we'll
that is what
keep an eye out
yeah.
for that. And
I really want to see it.
Hopefully it's cute. I don't know.
This was actually what I was hoping most for. After they did the casting call, I had a little bit of hope just because I was that actually fits with.
I'm shocked.
Carter
I'm shocked because like
Steve.
It was a cute joke, but I didn't think they'd ever actually lean into it, and it makes sense for where it is in California Adventure because it's right beside Avengers Campus, leading into the Hollywood land. So it works really well.
And it's that vintage kind of style, and especially if they're doing with Agent Carter.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious because the song "I Can Do This All Day" is from the Battle of New York, but the whole Agent Carter thing is very 50s. So I'm curious to see what they'll do. We will watch it. Someone will record it. And yeah,
they might do it like a USO show.
They might,
and just have that "I Can Do This All Day" song,
right?
Maybe like not have it be about the Battle of New York. Like I don't know, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what it is. So
this summer,
hopefully we get to watch a video.
And then the last thing to say is the booths have started showing up for Food and Wine.
Yeah, it is about that time.
I love Food and Wine.
Me too, but also the festival.
Also the festival.
Yeah, the festival was good. Like it was tough because I wanted to eat other places, but there was a problem. There were so many booths and so many things to try. It makes it tough to eat anywhere else during that time.
That is one thing, yeah. We really made a point to do that when we were there for the holidays. We're just like, we'll just like try a few things.
Well, they had the holiday festival going on when we were there in December, but it's much smaller than the Food and Wine, and it was basically a macaroni and cheese festival.
It should be the best festival ever.
I mean, that worked out quite well, but it was easier to not only eat that.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, true. Okay, I think that's it for news.
Yeah, I think we did a good catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a whole lot of news to like run through. Last week though, or 2 weeks, well, when we recorded 2 weeks ago, but our last episode, I had some trivia for you. So let's just review that and then call it a week.
Okay, we don't have to though.
It's because you're not feeling very confident, are you?
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
No. They were dumb questions. So.
They were not. You're just saying that because you got them wrong.
Dumb questions.
So, the first question was, in what year did Disneyland open? This is what you said.
It was 1954.
You were close. The answer is actually 1955. July 1955. Question number 2, what is the sorcerer's name in Fantasia, and what was the significance of that? It was bugging you because you remembered us talking about it.
No, I don't know. I still feel the same way, but whatever. I don't remember.
It's Yensid, and that is Disney backwards.
Yeah. That's a dumb name.
That's cool. And I asked, what was the first words Mickey Mouse ever actually spoke, not just made noise? You had an excellent guess. This is what you said.
Oh boy!
Okay, you should do the oh boy voice.
No, I don't want it.
Because you got
I don't
wrong.
like this stupid trivia.
Because you got wrong.
No, it's stupid.
It's not stupid.
Stupid trivia.
You're so close. It was actually hot dog. That's why that's one of his catchphrases now, is he was selling hot dogs at the carnival. And so he's like, hot dog, get your hot dog. And
yes.
Yeah.
Forever the bastion of capitalism, Mickey Mouse.
Right. It was on point. All right, well, that is our show this week, now that we've all caught up and everyone's up to date on everything. Contact us on our social media or through our website, and you can email us there as well. That is disneya.wixsite.com/podcast. Thank you to El Mule, who's responsible for the custom theme song that you heard at the top of the show. Also, we were in Mexico with him.
We were, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He also drank too much on the first day with me.
Yeah, and my dad.
He's a bad influence.
It's his fault.
Yes.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
We're going to blame him.
Yeah.
It was not his fault.
Yeah.
You can find us through our website, Instagram, or Facebook, or Twitter. You can also find Disney A episodes on your favorite podcast streaming platforms, where you should rate and review us, please. But also on our YouTube channel, Adventures A. And we actually have real, honest-to-goodness travel stuff going up on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travel.
Stuff.
I like travel stuff.
Me too. So, next episode, we talked about it. We are going to be talking about the Oscars. We will run through the Disney-affiliated nominees, but we also, last year, had our very own Disney Oscars.
We did?
We're going to do it again.
Oh, we are?
We are.
Okay.
You're going to pick the winners, and I'm going to pick all the nominees.
Oh, okay.
Okay? No prep for you.
None.
You just get to be judgy.
I am good at that, man.
Well, I'm Krysta.
I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A.
I was going in with, bottom of the barrel expectations,
Oh, okay.
so maybe that helped me.